Hello everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel, ClickJob. The topic today I'm going to discuss today is very important because these two issues have been going in Cricket Canada for a while now, and I think it is an apt time that we should start speaking about it and bring Cricket Canada this issue into the focus. And because unless these issues are resolved, I don't think we can create a uniform structure in Canada as far as cricket is concerned. So what are these two issues I'm talking about? I'm talking about um, Alberta cricket and issues in Montreal with regard to Quebec cricket. So let me just quickly introduce you to my panel today. Um, from Alberta, joining me is Mr. Shahbaz Shadat, who is a very active member of ACC, and he will tell you what ACC means. And he's also a very active member, and I think he's also, if not wrong, secretary of ACC. Mr. Shabazz, right? Okay, thank you. And then joining me from Montreal is Rahman Mehboob, who is president of one group, and he will tell you which group he represents. And with him, his colleague, Mr. Ashok Kaushal. So over to you, Shawad. Before you go into detail of Alberta Cricket Association dispute, let me briefly tell my audience that who might have forget about Alberta issues. There is a dispute going on in Alberta with regard to effective control for a while now. The one faction is known as HCA, headed by Mr. Salman Khan, who is the current president of ACA, and also the ACA is the member of CC Cricket Canada, whereas another faction known as ACC, headed by Irfan Mangas, if I'm not wrong, who claims to control the cricket in Alberta. So over to you, Sawad. Let's start from the beginning. Um, Try to be brief and so that you can cover all the part you want to cover today. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, first of all, Devesh, for giving us this opportunity to clarify a few things here. Um, I think it's for people to understand where we are today, it's important to understand where we came from. So, I mean, our issues in Alberta started well and truly, I would say, in 2017, 2018 is when things started blowing up in Alberta. Before that, there was only one provincial association, which was the ACA, which you already mentioned is the current president is Salman Khan. Before Salman became the president of the ACA, he was the president of the Calgary and District Cricket League, which is the CDCL. Now, the CDCL has been around for since 1908. So we've been playing cricket in Calgary for well over 100 years now. When Salman left Calgary and he took the reins of Alberta, we did an internal audit of our financials and we found a lot of issues. We filed a civil lawsuit against a group of individuals. And again, that one is also, how these civil litigations go. We're still pursuing it. It's still ongoing. It's still in front of, lawyers, and we are providing evidence. They're providing their side of the story. But to us, it is very, very clear as to what happened in Alberta.
So Sawad, just to give you perception to my audience, that when I contacted Mr. Salman Khan long back with regard to these issues, he claimed that he's innocent, and which I agree to, because unless somebody is proven guilty, we can't say anybody is guilty, right? And he said that these all were false charges on him, and that's why he did some what do you say?
Counterclaims, yes.
Counterclaims and defamation charges on your body or on some of the people from your side.
Yeah, and
So just
that's
to
fine.
give a clear perspective that these civil law and what you say, this kind of struggle is going from both sided, and unless the case is resolved, we can't say anything. But yes, we got your point that yes, there is some case going on. And this, how long this case has been going, like?
So we filed our civil lawsuit somewhere around, I think it was October. I don't have the exact date, or October or November of 2017 is when we filed that lawsuit.
Mhm.
When with the in front of the Calgary police and the AGLC. That application, we filed that in August of 2017. So, I mean, you can see it's been over 3 years. It's still ongoing. That there hasn't been a conclusion to it.
Yeah.
But for as far as we are concerned, we know what happened. We have our own proof. They have their own proof. Let's see. Let the courts decide.
Yeah, let the court decide. Yes,
Let the
correct.
courts decide that. But at the end of the day, when that whole thing happened, there was an AGM of ACC that happened in October of 2017. At that AGM, Mr. Salman had claimed that CNDCL or Calgary owed some $50,000 to the ACA. And Fort Mac also owed somewhere around $12,000 to the ACA. So both the leagues, the district leagues, were there at the AGM. At first, Mr. Salman tried to keep us out of the AGM. He tried to say that you guys aren't elected members and this and that, and you can't be in in the AGM. And we're like, well, we're members of Alberta Cricket. How can you keep us out of the AGM? But anyways, the AGM went forward. Everybody was there. Edmonton was there. Calgary, Fort Mac, Grand Prairie, all the different cities were represented in that. We presented Mr. Salman with a check that would cover our whatever dues were at that point. And as soon as we gave him the check, he called a 5-minute or 10-minute break, and he left. He left the venue. He told the hotel where the meeting was being held that he was the one who called the meeting and he has canceled the meeting. So they need to get us take us out of the venue. But the members were together on this, and they understood the fact that we need to do something about it. They saw the evidence. We showed them the evidence. All cities like Alberta, Edmonton, and everybody saw what happened in Calgary. So the members decided that they were going to continue with that meeting. And they said, well, the AGM is happening, so we're going to continue with the AGM. The vice president at that time was Nadeem Altaf, and he presided over the rest of the AGM. And in that AGM, a motion was put forward by all the members that basically expelled, that said that we are going to be expelling Mr. Salman Khan from the ACA. And there were a list of reasons provided. This was what happened in Calgary was not the only reason that was provided for that. There was a list of reasons, and under that, we filed that motion. The motion was unanimously approved.
So you have all the written communications from all the board members about the expel?
Absolutely. So we
okay.
have the sign-in sheet with signatures from everybody who was there. It represents the fact that there was a quorum for that meeting. The vice president was there and as per the bylaws, the vice president is there to preside the meeting in the absence of a president. So everything went ahead, and all of this evidence, and we're not saying that we have all of this evidence. Even Cricket Canada has all of this evidence, right? And not just the executives of Cricket Canada, the current executives and the board of Cricket Canada, they were still there at that point. They were in different roles. They were not the president, but they were there in different roles, and they were all copied on that email that was sent by the CNDCL that informed Cricket Canada that this has happened in Alberta. Here's what we did. But in turn, Cricket Canada and the president at that time, what they decided to do was they decided to ignore us. Mm-hmm. They didn't take anything seriously. They just said, and whatever their reasoning was, whether they were blind, whether they were illiterate, that they couldn't read what was on a piece of paper, or whether it was political reasons, I can't comment on that. But that's what I'm saying. Like, it was not just this, the X board, and we all like to, say that Sani was some sort of a big bad wolf who harmed Alberta or cricket in Canada in general. But what I'm saying here is that the rest of them who are still sitting in the board were all there at that time. They all have seen it. They can deny it as much as they want. They can say that they never saw it, but they all were witness to this.
So, Sava, there is two part of it, right? So one part was that there was a story which began when Salman Khan became the president of ACA after
Mhm.
resigning from Calgary Cricket, league. And then there was a dispute which you already mentioned, and that is in the court. So let's not talk about it. But the seed was saw there, right? So the dispute started from there. So you guys did not agree with his leadership. So you created another faction which is called as
Yeah, we didn't take
ACC.
the other faction right
And
away.
now when we say other faction, ACC, so now ACC claims that they have the majority in the sense that they have more effective control over cricket in Alberta, right? So
Yeah, so
that's the another aspect of the dispute. One dispute is that you don't agree with Salman Khan, and Salman Khan doesn't agree with you guys. There is one dispute going on there. Then there is another dispute which you says that there's a matter of effective control. Who controls the cricket in Canada, right? If I'm not wrong,
so
or both
basically,
are both are mingled. So just can you just clarify that?
yeah, so they're absolutely there's separate issues. What happened in Calgary, what happened with between Calgary District League versus Salman Khan versus Edmonton or whoever it is, that's all separate, right?
Hmm.
But at this point, after all of that happened, Cricket Canada continued to, like I said, support Salman, and Salman in turn to take, I don't know whether it was vengeance or whatever it was. He sent a letter to Calgary and Fort McMurray saying that Calgary and Fort McMurray have been removed from the ACA. So we are no longer part of the provincial association anymore. Now, whether that was justified or not, again, that is another question that is in front of Cricket Canada, because when we say that we remove Salman, we are able to provide meeting minutes, proof, and everything. Whereas his claim, we don't even think, like, first of all, if he had a meeting in which we were voted out, uh, well, we were never given even a notice of that meeting happening, right? So how can you have a meeting when your members don't even know that there's a meeting happening? Secondly, as per the bylaws of AC at that time, to establish a quorum, you needed to have two of the big organizations there. We weren't there for sure. As a fact, we know that Calgary wasn't there. So how did that happen? So we've never seen any documentation that could show us the fact that that meeting even happened. But all we know is that we were removed from the ACA. And once that was done, what started happening was that our players from Calgary, players from Fort McMurray, were forced to leave the associations that they were playing with and go join these fictitious organizations that were created by Salman along with a few other parties. And there are examples where they were actually forced to pay a fee to become members of this other association, and then only then they can play for Canada, or only then they can go and play for other outside Canada and represent Canada. But so when that started happening, we saw that there is no way forward. Cricket Canada has completely taken one side, and the only way we could move forward was that we needed to bring the people in Alberta together under a new banner. That's when we formed the ACC. So we formed the ACC in 2018, and in 2018 we had our first AGM, and out of the cities that played cricket in Alberta at that time, Fort McMurray, Grand Prairie, and Calgary joined together and formed the ACC, along with, actually, Lethbridge also joined us at that time. And the only association that was left behind with the ACA was Edmonton. Now, why Edmonton chose to stay with Salman and ACA, even though they were the ones who were present at that meeting where Salman was expelled, they must have their own reasons.
Mhm.
I'm not going to justify their reasons, because I do believe that you need to do the right thing, and you should have the guts and the courage to say the right thing. So they stayed with ACA. Everybody else joined the ACC. And now that they had one association, we had four. So we went ahead and we went to Cricket Canada, and we told them that we now have effective control of cricket. The reason I say effective control is because, as per Cricket Canada's current bylaws, the only uh, criteria for membership. So to become a provincial member, the definition of provincial member is that any provincial cricket association that demonstrates effective control of organized competitive cricket within the province concerned will be considered a member with voting privileges. So that means that if ACA has effective control, then they automatically, Cricket Canada must accept them as the provincial member. But if ACC has effective control, they must acknowledge that fact, and they must consider ACC as the provincial body or the provincial sports organization. So we went
Just
ahead.
to
Mhm.
just to give you a context here, Sawa, I just quickly checked the website of ACA, right? And let me tell you, they are giving these many members: Edmonton and District Cricket League, Calgary Cricket Community, Central Alberta Cricket Association, Grand Prairie, Fort McMurray, Alberta School Cricket Association. So there's so many associations that are claiming. So, so
I mean,
that,
you know what? There, Cricket Canada, or any individual who wants to do some good, can verify any of this information, right? It's
yeah,
very
and then you brought a very concerning and pertaining questions related to the issue: how to check who controls the Cricket Canada, because the provincial body. Because when I spoke to some of the official of Cricket Canada, they say we don't have means to understand and effectively measure that. Now, in this era of technology, it is very surprising to know that we cannot digitize all these and actually confirm that who actually controls this. This is very, very surprising for us. So, what is your suggestion regarding to that, Savaj?
Yeah, so I mean, we just, in the last one year, two of the big associations in Alberta, so both Edmonton and Calgary, have gone on to join cricket clubs, and they've chosen cricket clubs as their scoring and record keeping database. So it's very easy in there. Like I went on to Edmonton's Cricket Club website, and I can go in and I can see a list of all the teams that are there in Edmonton. I can see the players, which games were played, what the scorecards were. So I can tell you that after going through all of that, Edmonton currently has 48 teams,
Hmm.
right? So and then that includes their, this Alberta Schools Cricket Association. That's a junior program that has been running in Alberta for a very, very long time. They don't have organized competitive cricket. They run a junior program, but what they do is they put together one team of juniors, school children, and that team plays as part of the EDCL Edmonton Cricket League. So I can see it on the Edmonton League's website or on their cricket club page that, oh yeah, Alberta Schools is a team inside of EDCL. So yeah, we consider that a team as well. So even if you add it all up, they have 48 teams. Now on the same side, you can go onto the Calgary website, and on the Calgary website, you can see that Calgary CNDCL has 42 teams, right? So we have 42, they have 48, but then we have another Calgary League, we have Grand Prairie, we have Lethbridge, we have the Alberta Women's Cricket League, and as in 2018, Fort Mac was also our member. 2019, they were also our member. So when you add it all up, we have 66 teams. So 48 compared to 66, we have 58% of the membership of Alberta, or the members who actually play competitive cricket in Alberta.
So, I totally get it, Savaj. What you are saying, and there will be a counterclaim by ACA, that's fine. But these kind of things can be only controlled and verified by a proper digitization of the system, right?
Yeah,
And that's what I was requesting Cricket Canada to start with, right? So
yeah,
make it compulsory for all the team to register through that web apps, and make sure that all the players are counted for and
absolutely.
verified. The grounds which you secure for organizing a league should be verified. It is not a hard thing to verify that, because if you are playing a matches or league, you must have a ground which should be on your name. You are paying fees for that.
Right. It has two impacts actually, not just on the effective control. That is one impact. But every year when Cricket Canada holds their AGMs or special general meetings or whatever meetings they hold, they give votes to organizations or provinces based on the number of teams that province has.
Hmm.
Right. So when back in 2019, I'm going to give you an example. Like back in 2019 or before this split happened in Alberta, Alberta always had somewhere around 78, 79 teams in total. So based on 79 teams, we used to get 4 votes. And then this split happens in Alberta. And I'm going to say, okay, I'm saying that we have 58 and they have 42%. But even if the split happened down the middle, it was split up 50-50. Then how did ACA still retain 4 votes? Their votes should have gone down to 2. But Cricket Canada, and not just, and that's not just Ranjit Saini by himself. The rest of the Cricket Canada management was complacent in verifying this, and that's what a leader does, right? That's the job of any leader, is that you have people who are suffering under your leadership. So what do? You come down, you sit with them, you ask each party what are the grievances, you try to find a middle ground that works for everybody. But they have failed to do that. They
Okay.
gave us a time, they gave us a date, even a tentative date when they were going to be here, but nobody showed up. So that's what
Okay.
I
So then I will request that to the cricket board that they should take it as a priority and fly down to Alberta, sit down with both the parties, see what can be done best way. If not, then just dissolve the body and let the two party resolve the issue and come back to Cricket Canada, right?
yeah,
Meanwhile, the only thing my concern is that players should not be affected because of any such action, right? So players should be taken under direct supervision of Cricket Canada with regards to selection and whatever.
mhm,
Now I'll be sharing some slide in the end of the program to show that there is no provision where you have to be playing with a province of member approved league to become part of national team, right? So yeah. So quickly, one more question to you, Sawa. Then I will move to Montreal.
mhm.
Savas, a lot of accusation and is also coming to me from the other side, that, and from the various side, I'll say not one side, that these fight is basically a ego tussle between you and Salman. Is it true? Is there personal
Um,
grudges going on which has
these,
transformed into a
you know,
different segment?
at the end of the day, yes, there is some level of ego involved here. But I'm going to be honest with you guys that uh, I was never involved in any politics in Alberta.
Hmm.
I was never. I have been part of, like, I started playing in the Calgary CNDCL in 2000 2001. So I've spent 20 years as part of this league. My club has been part of this league for almost 18 years now. We formed it in 2003. 2021 will be our 18th year playing for this. But during that 18 years, um, I never once nominated myself for any position in the executives. I never once fought any elections. Um, and even when this whole thing was happening, I was never involved in it from day one. The legal, if you talk about the criminal whether it's a criminal case, whether it's the civil lawsuit, whether it's anything like that, I didn't go to court myself and file it. I didn't ask anybody to file it. The board of CNDCL, actually, we had a special general meeting in which the board got together, and they are the ones who decided that they were going to file the civil lawsuit against Salman. I didn't do that. So and even after that, I was never involved in it. The first time I got involved in it was actually in 2018. It was in 2018 when after uh, Salman and the ACA illegally and without any what do you call it evidence removed CNDCL, and they removed Fort McMurray, and then they started forcing our players to leave our league and go register with other leagues. It was then that is the first time I got involved, right? That is the first time, and I got involved through the media. Actually, it was CTV Calgary who did a report on what was happening to cricket players in Calgary, and that was the first time I was vocal about it, and I said it, and I said there's a dispute here or whatever is going on, but the players are the ones suffering. It was the kids that, I'll give you an example. There's a couple of players who have actually played for Alberta, and these are, I've been, as I said, like I've been playing here for 20 years, so I've seen these kids that were really, really young when they came into CNDCL. They grew up in the CNDCL. They learned to play with us, and we were the ones who taught them how to play cricket and how to be better at playing cricket. And now these players were coming to us and saying, what are you doing about it? I have been told that I can never play for Canada. I cannot be part of the Canadian team anymore unless I leave your team and I go play with somebody else.
Okay,
And
so
what are
this is the right time I should be sharing this with you, all of you guys. Give me, just excuse me for a minute. Let me share my screen. And this is for Montreal panel as well. Just look at this player selection criteria and tell me if you need to be approved by province to be selected for Canada. If I'm reading wrong, or if there is any problem. Okay, let me share this. So here is the player selection criteria, and I have taken this out from the website of Cricket Canada, right? So if you read here, commitment as shown through participation in trials, national initiative events, and selection camps, right? Now, participation in Cricket Canada member leagues and tournament, okay? Attitude, demonstrating whatever. So these are the criteria. So player must be in good standing with club, league, province, and Cricket Canada. So where do you think there is a compulsion to play under the province body, approved body?
There isn't, and that's what we've
There
been saying
isn't,
for
right?
4 years.
So that's why I'm saying, be it a Montreal dispute or be it a Alberta dispute, the player should not be under any circumstances be penalized, right? Because there is no such provision. Cricket Canada have now a selection committee. They should give instruction to the selection committee that any player you see talented, regardless of where he plays, whether he play for ACC or ACA or any other faction, should be included in the camp to look at, right? So that's my point is here is. Okay, now.
Sorry, Devesh, can I just ask a simple question? He showed
Yes.
these slides, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I have never heard of Cricket Canada coming to our MCA to see who are the talented players.
Yeah, that is the problem, not so. That is
Right.
The issues we need
Yeah,
to address
yeah,
today.
exactly. So I understand what they put on the website and so on, but I mean, we'll go through the details, and my president will take you through all this.
Yeah.
We have never had anybody come and ask, who are your players, who are they playing, what is the talent,
Yeah.
and so on and so forth. And these are the kind of differences that we're creating within the cricket community in Montreal and I would say in Quebec.
Shouldn't be the case. That's why I put this player selection
Thank you.
criteria in
I
front of
really,
everybody.
I mean, I was not
And
aware of this. Very nice.
and
It's
if you
very
write
nice.
this English in English, plain English, I don't see anything. You need to be involved in provincial approved body or league. So that's the point.
I mean, that's very nice. I was not aware of this. This
Okay.
is very, very nice what you put. But unfortunately, the perception that is sent out is
No.
very different. Shabazz, you cannot put something on your player selection criteria as a Cricket Canada Council. They're accountable. They cannot hide under the excuse they don't have the resources. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, right?
Yeah, and
So
today that's why when I opened this
in
program,
this
I
yeah,
said
in
in
this
this
day
technology era,
and thank you, Devesh, for sharing this because I was not aware of this.
and he was one of the very prominent name in national team. I will not name him. You can guess it.
oh, I know.
So these kind of bullying is going on everywhere, and we need to stop this because, as per Cricket Canada's
Yeah.
own website, it is not a primary criteria. So let's stop it and let's scout
No, but
the
unfortunately,
real talent. Okay,
And
so
you
now
know
coming
what?
to let's guys now, gentlemen, let's come to the Montreal quickly and
Mhm.
just have a background what's going wrong in Montreal, because what I heard is that you guys are not allowed to start a new league, which is very surprising, unlike of other province.
I will
Because in,
let I
yeah,
will
go
let our
ahead.
president give you the intro, then I will add at the head.
Okay,
Mehboob, please go
and
ahead
also
and
represent your organization whom you are representing.
definitely,
Yeah,
definitely.
please.
Mehboob,
Thank you.
please
Go ahead.
start. Yeah.
Yeah, hi, Devesh.
Hi,
Hi,
ma'am.
Shabazz also. I've been listening to the issues. Can you guys hear me, first of
Yeah,
all?
yeah,
Yes,
loud and
yeah,
clear.
yeah, definitely,
Go ahead,
definitely.
Rahman.
Yeah. But thank you for the opportunity. But Montreal, our organization is called Montreal Concordia Cricket Association, also known as Montreal Cricket Association.
Mm-hmm.
In Montreal, there's only one cricket association recognized by the city of Montreal, insured by city of Montreal, and we use public fields, the maintenance and all of that done by the cricket city of Montreal. We are an association who've been playing cricket since 2010,
Mm-hmm.
and the association has been was formed in 1996. But at that time when it was formed, they continued to play cricket with Quebec Cricket, which is known as Quebec Cricket Federation. But unlike other provinces, which have multiple associations under one federation, Quebec has its own problem, just like the rest of the Canada. It's a federation which manages the association, and they say they're the only one who have the monopoly over the city of Montreal. Even though they're a federation, and they should have a monopoly all over the province if that was the case. But they have refused to recognize us from last 10 years. We have tried every avenue. We have tried to contact Cricket Canada, and Cricket Canada keeps referring us as a regional problem, and we should sort it out with Quebec Cricket. And Quebec Cricket has always responded the same way. You guys can close your association, and all of your clubs can apply as their membership one by one. So basically, they're telling us to close the shop and move on. And we've been struggling. We have the same problem. We have the youngest talent in the city. Quebec Cricket, I just want to give you the audience a little output. In Quebec, the only city that cricket is being played professionally, or say organized cricket is happening, is City of Montreal. Now, City of Montreal is divided into small different boroughs. Each borough controls its own cricket fields, and all these boroughs do not deal with the federation. They only deal with the associations, be it soccer, baseball, or cricket. So we're the only organization that they deal with us. We've been, in terms of fixing our facilities, instead of ground permits and all that. And we are the one using the best facilities in the city, given by the city of Montreal and managed by the city of Montreal. So all the financing comes in terms of maintenance. In the last 4 or 5 years, my administration has been able to change that. And we had pretty much city coming in. So our problem is there's no other association in the city. Even Quebec Cricket is known, it's a federation. It's not an association. We are the only one. But because we're in City of Montreal, and they say in City of Montreal, other than Quebec Cricket Federation, nobody else can run cricket. And this has been going on for 10 years. We suffer the same problems Alberta has.
Are they giving any excuse or bylaws or any articles?
Yes.
Under which
What they've referred us to is their constitution. We had a meeting with the city officials, and they gave that excuse that their constitution basically does not allow to have another association. And as
who says that? Sorry, QCF?
Federation. The federation says that their constitution doesn't allow them to have another association in the city of Montreal.
That is Quebec Cricket Federation you are talking about.
Yeah,
Yes,
QCF,
this is their
yes.
constitution or their bylaws, which now all the constitution and democracy bylaws are made, made by the members, and members can change them as they wish. So it's not something that they have to go to Government of Canada or Parliament or on the Senate to get them amended or approved.
But I don't understand one thing in this. Sorry, Memo, I'm just stopping you, Rahman. That what is the loss if you happen to start a new league
Can I
under the
respond?
same umbrella, right? If you are going, you are ready to play under
Very good question.
QCF,
Very good question.
and the only thing you are differing from them is starting a new league, right? So it is good for them to have more leagues coming under their umbrella. What is the point? What is the problem?
As far as I understand, every federation's job is it's an umbrella body. Cricket.
It's like soccer federation. Soccer federation has like
we work with City of Montreal. They have baseball associations. They have soccer associations. They have all other sports, amateur sports also associations. And there's there's provincial federations also. But it's just the phenomenon in Quebec is very different. The reason why, and to my own understanding, it's political. It's always been political. Since they have a monopoly over cricket in Quebec, and if they take on another association, where we're the only association, known association in the city, recognized by the City of Montreal. But if we come on board, then all that monopoly they have over Quebec cricket will be gone. And some of the people are beneficiary of the system. I've been involved with Montreal cricket for over 22 years. I played at minor, juniors, represented Quebec, played all along here. I'm a byproduct of this system. And I've seen that over the years, it's been same thing. They'd rather have us dissolved, but they do not want to recognize this association because that would, I guess, put their positions under. Because
that can happen even if you happen to dissolve your organization and join their organization. You will have a voting rights even there. So you can bring the downfall for those people even joining them. So
No,
that
but
is not convincing enough for me.
No, but the way
to deny
I'll add
I
to
understand there's a political scenario.
No, I'll add to that.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Right. For us to be able to, because as my president mentioned, it took us a long time to build all this, right? And now the thing is, when we go, let's have example, if we decided we'll go and join QCF, let's say for argument's sake, right? For us to be able to change that, is going to take 5 to 7 years to be able to go and penetrate into the deep politics that is involved over there. And our question is very simple. It's nothing as complicated as Shahbaz Bhai has mentioned. It's very simple. I mean, we have 20, 25 teams. We have about 300, 400 members that are very actively. As my president said, we are recognized by the City of Montreal, and we have grounds and we're playing. So all we're asking is for a simple representation, like recognize us. And the reason why we crave for the recognition is because we have a lot of talent. And a lot of talent says, you know what, we want to be able to, they have wishes, they want to play for Cricket Canada, right? They want to be able to represent Canada, right? Right. If you're not recognized, they cannot go and play, right? And now, as a matter of fact, QCF has gone a little bit overboard, and we used to have friendly matches with Ottawa. We used to play and so on. And, we were hoping a talent gets recognized and so on and so forth. They have banned all this. And I don't understand, in this day and age, as a federation, your role is to be able to recognize and bring as many associations under the umbrella. Yeah. So our request is very simple.
Actually, can I just ask you, just for clarity's sake, I think it'll be good for everybody to understand. Like, in all the other provinces, I'm not sure how it's happening in Quebec right now, but in Alberta, at least from day one, how it was that you have. So there's a national sports organization that is recognized by Sports Canada to be like the national organization, which is Cricket Canada for us right now. They are recognized by Sports Canada as the NSO for cricket in Canada. Then under the NSO, there's, according to Cricket Canada's own bylaws, they have a provincial sports organization or a PSO representing each province. So each province has a PSO. But under those PSOs, there are district associations, right? So like CNDCL, Calgary and District Cricket League, is a district organization. There's another district organization right now in Calgary, which is Calgary Cricket Council. So the Calgary Cricket Council Society, they are another district association. We're both from Calgary, and we are both, part of the ACC at this point. So I just want to understand, is that where you guys are at as well? Is there,
No,
you
no,
have the Quebec Federation of Cricket?
No,
or whatever.
Shabazz bhai, I mean, I'll let Mehboob correct me if I'm wrong, but for us, there is only QCF, which is the Quebec Cricket Federation,
Okay.
right? So what we have done over the past, couple of years, we have simply asked them, guys, you're a federation, just like the way I view it is, it's like a soccer federation, a baseball federation, and so on. The role of the federation is to promote as much cricket that happens in the province.
Yep.
So we have simply gone up to them and said, guys, recognize my Montreal Cricket Association as an association, and so that means my players that are playing in my association can be recognized by Cricket Canada. They can go and if they have the talent, obviously all the process they have, they can be selected, and whatever the process is, that's a different debate. The fundamental problem we are having is these guys don't want to recognize us. We as we have almost about 300 players, youngsters who are playing for us, and what happens is, when these guys play for us, and they have ambitions, right or wrong, that's for them to debate, in the sense, where they want to, go in the life and who will be selected and so on. But the moment they recognize the fact that they cannot even have this any sort of like 0.1% to be able to go and be recognized by Cricket Canada, they move. They said, you know what, sorry, your association not recognized, only QCF is the only one recognized, so we're going to move to QCF. And to me, that fundamentally, that is incorrect in this day and age. That is not the right way as the role of the federation.
Yeah.
And
I want to, Ashok, clarify something for you. The definition of a provincial member under Cricket Canada's own bylaws, and I think I already said it once before, is any provincial cricket association. So an association has to be a registered provincial society, or a society or a non-for-profit society registered in that province.
Which
I don't
we
know
are.
what the rules are in Quebec, but is this federation also recognized? Are they provincial? What do you call it? A non-for-profit society?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So QCF is right now the member of Cricket Canada.
Mm-hmm.
So they are PSO.
And do they have other districts under them as well, or no district? They just say we control all of Montreal.
They just say
by ourselves.
Yeah, no, they control.
The problem is the federation is recognized by Cricket Canada.
That's fine. Yeah.
Federation itself runs the cricket in the city. Okay. It was always under Quebec Cricket Federation. Then the city, because I'll tell you something. This is the only, Cricket Canada should take a notice on this.
Mm-hmm.
It's a federation, which is not recognized by the city of Montreal. Yes, they're recognized, they're registered body with the Sport Loisier de Quebec. Quebec has a different, there's a department for all these amateur sports to be registered. So they're a non-profit organization. They're registered. They're recognized by Cricket Canada. We're not disputing their position, like in your province. What we're asking is to become an affiliate, become an association who wants to affiliate with them. That is it. But I'll tell you the problem, that the reason why they're not doing it for all these years. One, they kept calling us Rebel League, etc. As you said, I would like somebody from Cricket Canada to come over, visit the both sites. Okay, I mean we are
And see
actively
and see
running,
the facilities. Yeah.
see the better facilities.
Mhm.
Who has the better facilities? Who has the better infrastructure? It costs a lot less. The who has the younger. I mean, what type of people are playing cricket there? Yeah, I'll tell you, most of the talent only drains through the association because these guys are barred from playing in Ottawa. They're barred from playing in any other provinces, you know, representing Quebec or Canada. So the only reason why players go over is because, you know, they want to play.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
there is no other association. Who Federation has the monopoly over cricket and over all the matters of cricket. So either what we go is we form another federation ourselves, like you guys have, and go fight it out in courts, or you know, and drag Cricket Canada into it. And
That's where they are pushing you guys to.
yes,
And
yes,
that's my request to Cricket Canada, if they're going to listen to this program, is two things. Create an effective measure. When you define the effective measure, control, define it properly. And in today's technological era, it should not be difficult to
Definitely.
find out
Definitely.
the
I
measure and
totally.
measure it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
second thing
definitely.
is should be that one thing should be uniform across the Canada for Cricket Canada. That if there is a governing body, PSO, which you call a provincial sports body, right? Like in Sawat case, there is a body is in dispute right now, the ACA and versus ACC. But QCF is not under any threat as such. The point is, even in Ontario, you can go and open a new league. That's not a problem, right? Ontario has nothing to do with it. If you want to start a new league, you can start and you can register under Ontario Cricket Association. What
And
is the problem? Even in Alberta, I will say that is not a case, Awal, right? You can start a league, right? That's not a problem. You can go and register with ACA.
absolutely. I mean, you can start a
Yeah.
league, and that's exactly what we did.
So
And we
how come
figured
it
out the
becomes a
bylaws, and
problem in
That's exactly what
Quebec, and
the way
Quebec has a different law for that, and Cricket Canada is not taking notice of that.
the way
It should be, you have a liberty to create your own bylaws and laws, that's fine. But at least something should be uniform across Canada. That is my point. So then there is another fight going, there is going to be a new fight, which
Yeah.
we are already looking at ACA
which
and
we
ACC.
which we're trying to avoid. We don't. We
Which you are
don't
trying
want.
to avoid, and
Yeah.
that's I will say, the golden opportunity for Cricket Canada to intervene and let the issue resolve. It's not a big deal, and I don't, even my logic is completely out of
Yeah. I
focus
mean,
when I say
we failed.
why anybody can be denied to have a new league. What is the problem?
same issue is with, when they say effective control and Cricket Canada whines about effective control, they don't know how to, well, they passed that bylaw 5 years ago. Were they like, how can you pass a bylaw? Your smart board passes a bylaw and says that provincial membership is based on effective control. Well, the word effective simply means that something that is that works well or produces the intended results. If you guys can see, if it's not producing intended results in Alberta, then ACA or ACC both don't have effective control. So then there shouldn't be any. And if it's not producing the right results in Quebec, I would say the same thing. If it's creating problems, then you don't have effective control.
No, but I mean,
and
they have to. I mean, they are representing Canada, and I mean, if they're putting bylaws and so on, they have to stand behind that. I mean, they cannot hide behind the fact they have to have the resources. I'm sorry, like.
No,
I
that
mean,
is not an excuse.
That's not that's not an excuse.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand it cannot be 100% effective, but there's ways.
It will take a long time to resolve that issue unless there is a court decision is done. Nobody can accuse anybody else, right? And defamation case is also going on. So I think Savaj and his team has become like master in managing these all court cases. So I will leave them to them.
All our court dates and everything.
Yeah. So unless court decides, we cannot say who is.
I think Mehboob wanted to add something. Mehboob, please.
Yeah, Mehboob, go ahead. Quickly add, then I will share the slide.
Look, I don't know if any officials from Cricket Canada listens to this, and I hope they do listen to this.
No, they will listen to it.
They will listen.
I promise you.
The reason I am saying somebody who has played cricket, for a very long time here in this country. If you want to fix cricket in this country and bring the standards up, you need to organize these organizations.
Yes.
Where all this talent comes from.
Yeah.
You cannot be Cricket Canada and only care what's going on in Ontario. Cricket Canada is not Ontario only, it's all other provinces, and should be given the same care and acknowledgement as the other provinces
Yes.
are being. It's like orphan children left on their own, while Cricket Canada officials are mostly elected, mostly players are elected from Ontario, and it's been going on for a long time. Nobody has taken action. I hope new administration comes up and tries to resolve the issues in Quebec and Alberta and everywhere else in Canada, wherever they are. Thank
Okay,
you so
so
much.
thanks, Rahman, for closing statement. Quickly, Sawa, you want to give any closing statement here?
Yeah, no, I mean, all I want to say, like, if Cricket Canada and those guys are watching, they have a golden opportunity to be a leader now. They have the opportunity to take a step and show the rest of Canada that they are serious about moving forward with actually developing this cricket. And all it takes is coming down here, sitting down with everybody, talking to everybody, and saying, okay, you know what, here let's find the middle ground and let's solve this issue. Be the leaders that you promised that you were going to be. In that AGM where you got elected 6 or 8 months ago, right? And
Okay.
show that you actually have the guts to do the right thing and not hide behind excuses and
Definitely.
hide behind,
Laws and
policies.
bylaws.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any closing statement by you, Ashok?
Yeah, for us, I mean, I'm just talking purely from a Montreal and Quebec perspective. Our demands are very simple, guys. Recognize the talent, come forward, have a open discussion, because when we reach out to you, there is absolutely a very like a sort of a statement. Guys, it's your problem. Deal with this, and so no problem. I mean, there's issues. Let's sit on the table and discuss them so that we can resolve and move forward.
Yeah. So from my side, I'll just if you can see my screen, I will just ask my audience to focus on this statement and see how vague this was defined, the membership. And that's where lies the problem. If you cannot define this properly, you will never be able to resolve these kind of issues. So if you see, there is a very vague statement of
totally agree
effective
with you.
control. So I will leave with this thought to everybody and listen to this, and I will request the cricket board to look at this matter urgently, because unless the organizational structure is strengthened by resolving these kind of issues, nothing can happen in cricket in Canada. It was a pleasure talking to all of you, and hope all the issue is resolved very soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Bye,
Devesh.
guys.
Thank you, guys.
Much appreciated.
Welcome.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.